सीरीज एक ऐसी है शायद
Oh, it's live.
क्या
It's live. It's
क्या बोला?
live. It's live, guys. We are live. I don't know how did this happen, but we are live.
या
I
लाइव
know it works like this, but we are live, guys. Welcome to the stream. Is Spider-Verse across the Spider-Man? No, Spider-Man across the Spider-Verse, the best sequel ever. Let's talk it about. Whatever it is. The answer it is. And if anyone says so, you can leave. We don't need you here. So, guys, let's talk about it. Let's keep it structured. Let's not, let me just hear if audio is clear. Even say hello, hello. Say, guys, talk.
Hello. Testing.
Wow, wonderful, guys. Professional stream. Welcome. And one
It
guy
was
just
so
left.
wonderful that Sahil left.
The married guy among us now.
Among
But
Us Among Us Among Us
Among Us.
he said Among Us
Spider-Man, the Spider was among us. Okay, anyways. So let's first quickly start. It's a spoiler, guys. Spoiler alert on the screen. You can see. First, let's talk about our overviews. Quick overviews, not 10 mark answers, please. Fill in the blank,
Harmeet,
match the following,
Harmeet,
one line
let's
answer.
leave. Let's leave Harmeet.
Just that. Okay, who wanna go first?
भाई
The
मौज
guy
आ
Rohit,
गई
showing
go.
his face first. Go, Rohit.
भाई मौज आ गई भाई मतलब एकदम मतलब इसी के लिए पैदा हुआ था मैं स्पाइडरवर्स देखने के लिए
क्या बात
बट
है?
सीरियसली क्या पिक्चर बनाई है यार मतलब आई कांट एनालाइज दिस मतलब एक पॉइंट के बाद आपका रैशनल माइंड क्लोज हो जाता है और आपका अंदर का बच्चा बोलता है वाह वाह बेटे फिर से स्पाइडरमैन दिखा दी यू नो
The Indian Spider-Man didn't talk in Hindi, so can you talk in English?
Indian Spider-Man didn't talk. No, he talked with this accent. He
We'll dive deep into
Indian
that.
Indian Spider-Man's potential father-in-law talked in Hindi.
Potential father-in-law was supposed to die, but he didn't. Spoiler.
Spoiler.
Anyways, yeah, Rohit.
So I thought,
Hey, warning? What warning? Okay, yeah, continue.
what warning? Did I say something offensive again?
You spoke in Hindi.
Uh, something is up. Just let me check. Yeah, continue.
So the best thing about the film, I can't say because the whole film was the best thing about the film. You know, I mean, you can't analyze a film like this. I have watched it twice, and you know, it's like a good painting, and I don't know why I like it, but I love it. No,
Okay, that's
क्योंकि
one
एक
way to
point
put
के
it.
बाद because
And it is a proper painting. It is not an abstract painting.
yeah, exactly. It's not. I loved the conversation about that art, about it's commenting about art, but it's art too.
Yep.
Continue talking. I'm just checking something. Are?
Nona is blessing me. I'm just below him. Like she's blessing me from the. So, it these kind of films make me realize why I love films. You know, because it takes me out of the technicality of making a film. You know, and just plunges me into emotions, makes me believe these characters are real. And I'm a person who loves reading comic books, so I think this is the perfect comic book film. You know, it does justice to that turn, and I think that's it. I this is all I can say for like a two-line thing. But yeah, when we talk more, we can talk about the aspects of it. I loved it. It was incredible.
I don't know if any of you have seen the thumbnail for this live. It says, "Is it a mess?" and
Arey,
with
film companion.
a Rotten Tomato score and all of that. Okay, next Harneet.
So not repeating my past mistakes, as Nona has pointed, I'll be quick about this. Uh, I'll agree with Rohit on this. This is the definition of a comic book movie. Loved everything about it. Uh, in 24 hours, I watched it twice. Like this is the first movie after Infinity War that I have watched twice under 24 hours. So that says something about this movie. And this is one of the perfect Spider-Man movies you can say that have existed. We said the same thing about the previous movie for Miles Morales, and this is the same thing. Like they are upping the ante for each movie. So I'm excited about the next one now. Yeah, that's it.
Sahil?
I just got married 2 weeks ago. My parents and my in-laws are at my home. I send them out for shopping so that I can go for this movie
Ah, okay. I thought
alone.
for the live. Ah, okay.
No. So this is how much Spider-Man means to me. I could not miss the first day first show for this movie. And
So wouldn't
but
your
yeah,
in-laws
everything.
allowed you to go? Is that what you're trying to say?
I did not want to even have the conversation of allowance. Because I booked the tickets way before all this was happening also.
Before your marriage.
Yeah. So before
When did the
we even
tickets come out for sale? Was it before the planning of the wedding?
a month ago.
Okay.
No, that planning was there, but what would we be doing? क्या घर पे कौन होगा उस टाइम पर? क्या plan होगा आपका? कुछ नहीं पता था उस टाइम पर. So yeah, coming back to the movie review. In a short. So yeah, everything what Rohit said, I agree to it, especially that one point which even I believe that at one point the rationale stopped in the head, and you were just enjoying the movie, or you were just seeing, you were just enjoying whatever you were just watching on the screen. And I believe for any movie to achieve that, it is a huge thing, irrespective of whether it was like, whether the movie is like technically good or it's just like a masala entertainer. Once you are able to convince the audience that just sit wherever, like on any edge of the seat, just enjoy what you are seeing. I think that's where a movie wins. I think this is where this movie wins. It wins because it is making you like just enjoy what you're watching. And that is happening with everyone, probably at different stages of the movie, but it is happening with everyone.
Okay. I would just say, as Rohit said, right? You forget it's a film, how it's made. For me, it was hard
Hmm.
because I know how
Oh yeah, it's a better. Yeah.
I
That's
know
what I said.
how it works, but it's like I was getting how is this even possible to bring all of this just together on one frame, and that was just blowing my mind as we just the start, like we'll go in detail with the visual style, but from the start to the Gwen's sequences, and then when we go to different universes, right, the way the art style is done, it just I was just losing my mind just on that basis. But I think what makes Spider-Verse special, both the films, is the story, the connection, the the way it breaks down what it means to be Spider-Man. In both the films, it's done so
And that too,
beautifully.
especially after talking about what it means to be Spider-Man for some 10, 20 movies already.
Yeah.
After that, still talking about it in such a grand movie. This is not some Disney Plus show which half of the people will not watch. This is like you are talking about the topic which has been talked about for 20 movies already
But I
in
think
the last
that
20 years.
but I think they can be so meta in breaking down the character because there has been a history of 20 years.
Exactly.
You cannot do this
And,
for every
and
character.
correct, correct. But again, but that is not because of 20 years. That is because this character has been relevant for more than 50 years.
Yeah, that's
That is
true.
the reason. Like like Spider-Man is basically equivalent to Superman, Batman of DC. Like for Marvel, it is the thing for us. It is the character for us. Like the Iron Man, Captain America, these people don't even come close to Spider-Man.
Like
So you
growing up,
talk
I
about
knew
Marvel.
three here superheroes: Spider-Man,
And
Superman,
yeah,
Batman.
Superman,
That's
Batman,
most
yes, exactly.
Indians. Like we literally had their
No,
crossovers in our movies.
but that is but that yeah, but that is also most people in the world as well. Even in USA, these three characters have been most culturally like culturally in whatever these three characters have done. No other like no fourth superhero has done even close to what these three have done. There's no fourth person. There's literally no fourth. There's no Wonder Woman. There's no Hulk. There's no Flash. These people are nobody in front of these three.
True. And yeah, man, it's just, and the way the film goes, like the cliff, just ending on a cliffhanger, and it just, I was actually expecting it because I
Yeah,
was,
same. Yeah.
you know, understanding the flow. I did feel, in the middle, after Gwen's section, the film takes like a pacing problem, that it suddenly, I'm not getting, and I think that's where the trailers spoil you, that there's a whole multiverse, and he'll meet different Spider-Man, so you're waiting for it to still not happen, still not happen. And for interval, for us in India, we had an interval, right? And it was very well placed. It was just the moment Miles enters the portal and goes to the other place. They just cut there, and I'm like, half the film is done. We still haven't got to the main
When is it?
part of the narrative. And from that point, I was not sure if this film will finish the story, or at least this film, because there's so much still to unravel, and then we get into the other things, and we get to the big reveal we get, and then he runs away, and then I'm thinking, there's no time, man. There's not enough time to wrap every loop. So I kind of guessed that, and but when they did it, and that at a high it was, oh, I was like, come on. I
That
literally
the
heard
thing you
someone behind me shouted, mother. Someone literally be sitting behind in the theater shouted, you guys kidding me?
you know the thing you're talking about, the pacing and the first half being slow. I think that is why the movie worked for me so well, because this movie had heart. That they delved so much again into Miles' story, and the first half is just about him, his family, what they're going through, what he's going through, and I did not feel like it was slow or anything. And if you take that out of the movie and start with the multiverse from the get go, you lose something in that movie. You
Yeah.
lose all that story. You lose all that family building, the heart of the story. You lose that. And to achieve that in a movie which has 250 different Spider-Man, to have so much heart in a movie which has almost 300
Did you
characters
count?
overall, how can you do that? It's impossible to achieve before. It was impossible to achieve before this. Like, we have watched movies like Infinity War and Endgame, and the biggest criticism about Endgame was like it was just a fan service, and there was so much characters that there was no heart in the movie. And but here you can see that it's all about Miles Morales, his story, his where he is going through, and whether he is supposed to be Spider-Man or not. And then you delve well into action, and then there is no going back. Like, once the action starts, when the Spider-Man mayhem starts, there is no going back after that. That is why I love this
But I
movie.
would say, comparing to Infinity Endgame, is that Infinity Endgame are literally byproduct of the 23 films ahead of them,
They're bookends
The
basically.
setup
Yeah,
has happened. Whereas this film only
yeah.
had one film, and we
They
we
set up a
want to
lot,
start the
everything.
film with something we are familiar with.
Yeah,
First we get something different with Gwen, and then we get back to our character we followed in the first film. And I think, now knowing that it's a two-part film, the slowness makes sense.
it makes sense.
And I think that's what makes this film special, that they know what they're doing. I think this is what MCU needs to learn from Spider-Verse, that there are so
Yeah,
many
it was not just payoff, payoff,
yeah,
payoff. It was not just everything
it's not
needs to
just about
resolve.
cameos. We are not talking about cameos, all the cameos we got to see. Oh my
Yeah,
god, that's the problem. In after MCU film, we're just talking about
You know,
who showed up.
the cameos were so
yeah.
smooth.
Like
The
that's
Like,
cameos were so
they
smooth
felt
in
like
this
part of
movie.
the
I don't.
movie. Like,
yeah,
they are
it's
supposed to
like
be
an
there.
add-on.
Yeah.
It's not the core. The core is the
I
story.
the Spider-Man one wala cameo was like, okay, are they really showing it? It's like that. I'm like they did not like pull that scene for that. It was just in the background. Spider-Man one, like when
Like
Uncle Ben dies.
what?
Like,
The video
the
for that.
screenshot, the video
Okay.
of that
I was thinking
Uncle
Yeah,
Spider-Man
Ben
yeah.
one.
dying.
Okay,
It was
got it,
just
got it, got it. Yeah, it's
it
not
was just
in
in the
your face.
background.
It's
Like,
not in your face, basically.
yeah,
Yeah,
या मतलब वहाँ पे 2 सेकंड का एक्स्ट्रा पॉज होता है बट वन इवन
yes.
when we talk about the pacing, this is not like a traditional film structure, right? Like, um, usually फिल्म राइटिंग रूल्स के अकॉर्डिंग प्लॉट पॉइंट वन आती है तुम्हारे 10 minutes या 15 minutes into the film where the ordinary world shifts for your protagonist. Okay, यहाँ पे the ordinary, if we are considering Miles as our protagonist, okay, then his ordinary world shifts once he decides to follow Gwen,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That comes halfway through. So they are setting up the ordinary world so that you root for it. You root for you root for Miles to come back home. That's why they
Hmm.
have the dialogue with his mother, right? Which solidifies Miles' conflict. कि तुम पूरी दुनिया घूम लोगे पर ये याद रखना कि सबसे ज्यादा प्यार हमसे ही मिलेगा. They won't look out for you like we do, right?
But you
And
know,
that
the
conversation was the
film
best part of the movie.
the film also does this to Miles, right? That in a Star Wars, like Star Wars considered, how what created the three act and hero's journey, right? In that sense, then in that sense, we already know this character, and it's not like you're just introducing the character again. It's like you're now telling where he's in his life. He has grown up a bit, and he's having issues with his family. He's struggling with being Spider-Man and being Miles, a son, and we are invested in that conflict because that's the core of his character. That's, what do you say, the boxing ring side is called cornerstone of his character, his parents, right? In that relationship. And we
Right.
are not wasting time of just setting up, oh, now he's up to this. No, he's having a conflict, he's going through things. And even with the whole fight of with the Spot, right? we are keep They're using that fight to tell us more about these characters and not just showing us cool moments. I think that's very, very important, which you can
Like
only do
there
in
is there
such
is this
films.
point, right? He doesn't want to be there. He wants his friends. He's alone. Everybody that he likes has left,
I think that's what
and
Gwen
now
also
he's
says,
alone.
right? Gwen also says that there's no
Yeah,
one I can talk to about this stuff, spider stuff,
yeah.
in their
And
life.
he's sitting alone and thinking like, they all left, and now I am the only Spider-Man, and I don't want to be the only Spider-Man.
मैं किससे बात करूं, मतलब दैट्स द थिंग ना, उस कैरेक्टर का कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ही यही है कि मैं किसको बताऊं अपने प्रॉब्लम्स के बारे में. बिकॉज जब भी वो अपने पेरेंट्स से बात, whenever he is talking to his parents, they are like, oh, is there a problem with a girl, is there a problem with your grades, you can't really talk about Spider-Man stuff. And coming to plot points, okay, about the film and characters, uh, who do you think is the protagonist of the film? Because I think it's Gwen.
Yeah, it is
because
Gwen.
she because she gets the biggest arc. If you think, from not having a band, from not having company to having a band, she gets a clear arc in this. Miles' arc is not complete. उसकी कहानी खत्म नहीं हुई है.
She's literally telling the story of Miles, right? Because she starts the movie and
Exactly.
she ends the movie.
हाँ.
Are you ready? Like whatever she says at the end. You want in, I
Are you
guess.
in?
Are you in?
You
Are
want
you
in?
in?
हाँ. You want in? You want in? I guess I don't know.
Okay, Darshan says best movie of the year so far. Movie was amazing. Last 15 minutes played like thriller without any action. The third act was just edge of the seat stuff. We'll come to the the ending, but first let's talk about the visual design, man. Like I literally thought, in my head, like you already revolutionized animation filmmaking, in current era. The what you did of mixing things, and I was like, how can you push it further? How can you go to the next level? You do the same thing again, but right at the start, they just proved me wrong with just taking it to the next level. That what happens, that you when you are new, you have nothing to lose. You are okay to give everything. But now there's expectations out there. You have something to lose. Oh, first movie was amazing, the second one didn't work, and all of that, right? But still taking the bold decision of, what, we'll start with Gwen's story, we'll show her world, but in different style altogether. And it's like a very surreal way when the characters are thinking whatever they're feeling, the background's changing according to that. You know, the father, when he feels disgust, he's green. Then he's blue because he feels depressed. He's alone. He's alone and he's not able to talk to a daughter. In the same scene, it's the same scene of them just talking and the colors of them just changing. And to just destroy the way of visual storytelling with what they only established in the last film, and do something new. It's from scratch. From there only I fell in love with the film. you know that was just
You
so
know,
good.
when a film starts out with something, its cold open is the Guggenheim sequence.
Yeah.
Okay, you know this film is prepared. Like, is ये पिक्चर ने अपनी पढ़ाई करके आई है, ये बंदा फेल नहीं होने वाला है. Like, its cold open is better than a lot of climaxes I have seen. You know,
Yeah.
the helicopter and the vulture.
I would say
And
the Batman.
which one?
The Batman. I felt the starting 15 minutes are stronger than anything else that shows up in the whole movie.
Easily, I mean, बैटमैन का तो फर्स्ट 15 मिनट में तो आपने उसकी ऑर्डिनरी वर्ल्ड सेट की.
Like I touched the high of what the film could give me, and there was nothing else that came ahead in the whole film that even came close to that high. I think that's why I did feel a little not underwhelmed, but the movie ended because I never reached the same high or even surpassed that high of oh my god, how we started and how we have ended. Like the whole sequence of him riding the bike away, and just goes on forever, and like it didn't do anything to me.
Him riding the bike, which one?
And in the end, when Serena leaves and he's riding the bike and they're leaving that place,
Oh, you're
and
talking
just
about the
keep
Batman.
the Batman, yeah. But yeah, coming back to Spider-Verse.
Can
please.
we talk about how misleading the end was?
We'll come to the end. First, let's talk about the visuals. We'll come to the end.
I don't know how.
I have a little criticism on the visual one. And I wanted to talk to Nona about this because he's into animation. In that scene in which which we just talked about, in which in which Miles Morales and his mom are talking about all the family thing and everything. Didn't you feel the animation on the mom's face was a little off? It was a little like not moving as like smoothly as the entire animation around it, or was it just me?
So I have to watch the film again to know. I didn't notice anything. So they did do this right in the first film where they animated Miles through the film on twos, which is basically like you have 24 frames, right?
Okay.
So 24 frames per second, right? So all
Yeah.
24 frames are a movement. Like one
Okay.
frame each thing is moving. But
Okay.
for
Okay.
Miles, they did it 12 frames per second, which is
Okay.
and then doubled it. So which is basically 2 frames are the same pose, and then 2 frames are the same
Okay.
pose, and two. So it gives you more jerky feeling.
Yeah,
So
that's okay. But I
maybe
believe the mom's
they did the
animation.
same, I guess, for the mother in this film, where to show that she's unsure and there's a difference between them, that he's so perfect, he's flawless with his motion, whereas she is not. Maybe that's my guess, but I'll have to check it again. I don't
Yeah.
know. And
Yeah,
also,
please, if you guys watch it for the second time, like just observe her face. It is moving way differently from from the others from others in the movie.
okay. But there's one more thing in animation, right? It was taught to us that when cat is talking, so I just have to move the mouth and the hands
Hmm.
as a gesture.
Yeah, yeah,
I have to also add the breathe in and
and
breathe out, which you'll not notice.
and also
You'll never notice that.
okay,
Him breathing and
okay,
breathe out. It's like when you just watch it on loop, make a gif out of it. You notice that okay, that's
yeah.
also happening. But as an animator, I need to add that to make it more believable. That I'm
And
giving
I'll tell
life
you
to
why
it.
I found it weird because when in the last part of the movie, in Earth 42, the animation is a little different of the mom, and that's when I felt that this is not the same mom. That's
When
when
I
I
felt
found
okay,
out.
you know what? Let's come to the ending, guys,
Wait,
because we
wait,
all
wait,
are coming to the ending.
wait.
Okay,
Wait a
we'll
minute.
wait.
Because
We'll
in the
wait.
ending, the mom's animation was different. That's why I felt okay. This is a different Earth.
One thing before the ending that I wanted to add was like one thing after the movie that I'm enjoying is listening to cinematographers and animators talk about the movie. And because I have no idea about animation and all that stuff, but watching this movie and then comprehending what it means from their perspective, like it's a dream for them. Like I was, I had watched this interview of a Indian animator a few years back, and he was saying like all of us who are into story writing, animating, we think in colors, and we have not seen that much of color grading, or like we watch movies, real movies, live action movies as movies. There is no connection between our thinking and the movie which is going on, right? And then I was watching this movie and I realized how they think how these story writers think and how these animators bring that to life in this movie, because the colors change with the emotions, with the scenes of the people, right? And there was this scene where Gwen, walks uh, down a building, like she's tilted, and the whole camera moves with her.
Yeah.
It's not just her who's moving, and I literally sat up from my chair during that scene. Like I was so amazed, like what is this? How this can be achieved? And that was the best, not story moment, but best visual moment for me in the movie. When Gwen comes to meet Miles, and at the end of their uh, journey through the city, they are going to sit at some place, but upright. And before they sit, Gwen walks down, and the camera shifts with her 180 degree. That was amazing. And I was going all through that, and then I started listening to animators and creators like you on YouTube, and I was thinking like how these people are so excited about this is because like this is a dream come true for such creators, and that is this movie is giving to these people.
I'll tell you, it's even when I understood right how films work, like I learned the grammar of films. Even I suddenly, my mind just opened, my world just opened to something new. That each scene we see, it's not just what we see. It's like what is the meaning of each thing that we see in that frame. You know, why the camera is differently, why the cat is at the end and suddenly there's void to show loneliness. In something, it's a cool shot, man. Maybe that's what. No, but when you learn, you understand. Oh, it's not just a cool shot. There's something that's the scene is telling me without audio, without a dialogue. It's telling me something. And once you start, when you open that, right, and you take that all that information in, and I think what happens, right, like, I don't know if you guys saw that video I shared with you, my review of the movie. I talked about how animation industry became very boring because it was just either people going in the side of making everything look so ultra realistic, or
Right.
the Disney Pixar animation style. Like someone was
Right.
saying the Elemental movies coming, right, Pixar's. It is
Yeah.
visually same. It's same. It's fire and water, but it visually looks same as any other Disney Pixar movie. It's not exciting now. And I think that's what and in indie space there have been amazing films. I don't know if you guys saw Claus. It's
Claus,
Christmas.
Santa Claus one, na? The Santa Claus
Yeah,
one,
yeah, yeah.
right?
So from the visual it looked like it's a 3D movie, but the whole film is 2D. It's a visual trickery they are playing with us. It's a whole 2D film, but it looks like 3D. You just open any scene, just watch the trailer of it, you'll say it's a 3D movie, but it's not. So in indie space, the people are doing something different, challenging, experimenting. But in mainstream, it was just dead, just doing the same thing over and over again. And I think that's what Disney is gonna face now. Their films are not really working, even animating films. In Super Mario, word for nostalgia. Again, the style was very different for Super Mario. It was just from the games. They were taking inspiration from the games, and it was something different. And I think when Spider-Verse came, right, just broke all the rules. So all these people, right, who were stuck into, even in a artistic career, they were stuck to doing the same thing. And suddenly this movie, it's like whatever comes in your head, like in animation we were taught that if a character is doing something, focus on the character, don't focus on the other characters. So main animation will happen to the main character, and someone else will get to do some small minor animation in the background or something, because it doesn't matter, you're watching the main character, right? But in this film, in one sequence there are 10 things happening behind. Animators sat and did all of those things, but you are just watching one thing. So you need to watch the film again and again to notice everything that's happening in that scene. And it's like you're breaking the structure of how movies are made in animation. You find in anime you'll see a lot. There are sequences where there's a close up of the eyes of the characters, or a long shot where you cannot see their movement, which is to cut down on the production, that you don't have to animate everything now. Just have this pan of the long shot, then have a close up of the eyes and dialogues are happening. We don't have to animate much. It's just to save time and put more effort on main action scenes you want to show. That's how animation works. You have to find these cheats, and this film is destroying all that. No, we'll do 10 things in the same scene where it doesn't even matter. You'll not even catch that, even in
But it's
10th,
about
11th.
but it's subconsciously affecting you, right? Even
Yeah,
on your
because there's
first.
so much happening, right? The brain is thinking, oh, look at that, look at that, so much happening, so much happening. And it's like it's giving that high, as an animator, it's giving me high to go back, watch the film, and find out everything. See how that done, how's that done. How different like the Bowie, right? Or Howie, Bowie. The the punk Spider-Man.
Ha, ha, ha.
Like he's basically cut out.
Hobby.
Hobie.
Hobby.
He's basically
Hobby.
cut out. Different cutout, and it's just it's not even animation, it's just different
Yeah.
poses he's in. That's it.
Yep.
वो grunge aesthetic जो होती है ना,
Yeah,
वो grunge.
it's like when you
Yeah.
just tear newspaper and different articles and create a
Exactly.
character to do that. I'll be honest, if I am I was the head of this film, I will actually tone down some of the visuals because it's just too much at one time. But that's what they're challenging. They're like, who cares, man, do whatever you want. The freedom, when you see this, the
Actually, you
inspiration you
won't be
get.
able to come up also with a lot of things. I think that much, like this freedom, all the animators got to
Yeah,
like, come up with
because
these
you
different
don't
ideas.
get, you don't get this traditionally.
It is like reading. It's like एक graphic novel नहीं पढ़ रहे हो, मतलब एक एक पेज आप फाड़ के एक नया graphic novel बनाए हो आपने,
It's basically
and
that, man.
it is like, for example, Hobie ka character is an anarchist, right?
Yeah.
He's an anarchist.
Hmm.
So it feels like he has been cobbled up with various propaganda posters, Even his introduction, I was like, ये कैसे हो रहा है? I'm like, I have not seen anything. मतलब,
Like, as you said, right? Even in his characteristics, his visual style has something to say. It's not just a different version of how to represent the character. It matches with his characteristics. You know, that's how amazing, this film is and the people behind it. Oh man.
Also, how smooth was that animation to the Venom universe? It didn't
Oh,
feel like I didn't feel like I was watching a different movie. It feels like, okay, this is a part of it. This is animation.
that was
I
so
mean,
good.
I still can't believe it. Like they did pull that.
I was gonna come to, what were your favorite cameos, like small things and all.
Prowler. This guy is
Donald
Yeah,
Glover.
wrong Glover. Anyway, yes. I mean, the loudest cheer in my
Sahil, your
hall
audio is
was
not clear.
for that. I was,
Is it just
oh,
me?
can you hear me now?
Your audio isn't clear actually.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it better now?
It's a little
Uh,
bit. Polo.
not
Oh,
as
damn.
good as
Is
when
it
you
better
started.
now? Oh, I'm still sitting at the same place. I did not move. And now I'm moving because
It's like,
since my audio is not good.
some noise is coming, like,
Strange.
Yeah, but continue.
Okay, yeah, I was just saying that, yeah, the loudest cheer I had in my cinema hall was Donald Glover cameo, and I think for obvious reasons. He's so, like at this moment he's very popular, um, and like he's more like you have seen his face way more than anyone else in the
I don't
cameos.
know in India if people recognize. I think like there's the hardcore fans who know that he plays, Miles Uncle
Community
in
and all that.
MCU. I think for me that was the reason I shouted. Not shouted. I'm like, oh yeah.
For me, it was community. For me, it was
Ah,
community because in the community series, he like, apparently there has always already been a character based on him because he has a scene in which he's wearing a Spider-Man suit in one of the episodes. So
hmm.
that scene was already in the first Spider-Man, in the first Spider-Verse movie. We already have that scene in the background. So now they they actually got him also as a prowler. That was huge.
I even liked Andrews.
Cameo.
Yeah, not a
Yeah,
cameo. Just played that scene.
So
yeah.
so the entire story of Miles Morales started from this guy, right? Childish Gambino and
Prowler.
all. So Miles
Yes, yes,
Morales
yes,
का
yes.
Miles Morales का क्या हुआ था? So he appeared on Community wearing a Spider-Man costume. So there was a petition on Twitter, make him Spider-Man, okay? Because he
Make
looked the
Miles
part.
Morales. Make him Miles
Make,
Morales.
no, Miles Morales था नहीं तब.
The
ठीक है?
cat only didn't exist that time.
Yeah, yeah.
The character didn't exist, so they got influenced and created Miles Morales, basing him off Donald Glover. Okay,
Yeah.
so Donald Glover का ये हुआ. Then he did the voice in the Spider-Man animated series for Miles. Okay, then he appeared in तुम्हारा Homecoming. ठीक है?
Yeah.
And now he has come as the Prowler. Like finally. So it is a full arc for him. And I was like,
Also in Homecoming, he was supposed to be Prowler only.
yeah,
He
he was
says that
proud.
I have a nephew who is just like you and all that. He says
Yeah,
this to Peter Parker in Homecoming.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's basically what
That was a setup for
like
Miles, but
yeah. It feels like this is destiny. That's what it feels like.
let's see, man, if MCU does it. But I was sure that we'll not see Tom Holland or any like we got a MCU like a dialogue a reference of for No Way Home.
Doctor Strange,
Yeah, but
yeah.
I don't because Sony owns Tobey Maguire's and Andrew's movies, so they can show that. But I don't think they will show even Venom, for that matter. But I don't think they will show Tom Holland in any sense because I think Kevin Feige, with that whole thing happened, right? Spider-Man is going back to Sony and all, and Kevin Feige said we are happy, we have done with the whatever we could tell for Spider-Man and all of that. I think he proved that I'll use it how he has to be used in MCU, and he cannot just go everywhere. Being Spider-Man in any universe, it has to work with my world. Otherwise, I'm letting go of Spider-Man because my world is bigger than one character. That I'll change things just for
All
you
the
to
best, all
satisfy.
the best.
No, but I am with him in that sense. Yeah, because what happens that if Tom Holland shows up, in the third movie where all Spider-Man shows up and Tom Holland shows up, like how do you explain that in the MCU, right? So it's better not to get into those things. Where because MCU works on this logical, cycle, whereas this again, this
See,
movie
but
it's
there's a
not based.
reason.
It's
There's
just
a
too meta,
reason
it
why
doesn't
all
need
the
to.
movies. But there's a reason why every movie in which Spider-Man showed up, it is MCU's best movies. There's a reason for that.
See, you can say statistically, yes. Even
Yes,
Spider-Man is there, it was a good film. But if you just break down the
yeah.
film, it was not just good
Civil
because
War,
of it
I
just
know,
got.
I know, but it attracts a huge amount of crowd just for that.
Yeah,
It
it
does.
does. But that doesn't make the
You might not
story
agree
good,
to it. It
right?
does.
That doesn't make the
They
movie
I
follow.
know.
good.
I'm just saying, and my point is when he said na, that my story cannot revolve around him. You make that happen. That is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Because it is like not having Batman or Superman in any DC universe. It is basically like that. People these people forget that these characters are way bigger than just creating one universe. And then, see, to be very honest, people still miss Iron Man, right? Nobody
Yeah.
says, "Hey, the movie is not." People say, "Oh, well, we are not getting to see Iron Man," because people like you did build a connection with that character. You at the end of the day, you do miss characters as well. You cannot just based on the stories as well, because if you just want to create stories, then you are just going in that Martin Scorsese's like a school of thought, like how about movies, cinema, and all that bullshit. But for these comic book movies, you
I
have to
do
have
have
these
a
characters.
different thinking on this.
No, that's what I'm saying. You need stories, definitely. Even I like stories, but you also need these characters, which people can connect to, and then people keep on coming just for those characters.
And trust me, देखो भाई, MCU के लिए Spider-Man काम करता था, Iron Man काम करता था. Captain America doesn't have the same
To
pull.
some extent. To some extent.
Captain America doesn't have the same pull. There's a reason why Civil War
Fair,
worked.
fair,
Because
fair,
it
fair,
was 4.5.
fair enough.
No, but see,
Commercially,
you cannot tell MCU Spider-Man stories for 10 films. It will get redundant. There's a time
but
you
they will.
need to end, right? Like
No,
how
but
Iron Man story ended. You
him
need to
showing up,
move on.
but
But they
him showing
will.
up matters a lot.
But they will have a school trilogy. Now they will have a college trilogy. Then they will have a job trilogy. You know, like
So, but see, that's what I'm saying, right? Until there's a story for that in the in the big universe where it needs to make sense. Like for Iron Man, right? His story came to an end. You cannot just stretch it, one more movie, again, again. No. So the character legacy lives on, but the character has to go away, and the world continues.
But
It
no,
cannot
but I
just
think
rely
Iron
on
Man was
one
getting old.
character or two characters.
Iron Man slash Tony Stark was getting old in the movie. There was no point of stretching that character. Spider
and
Man is not.
See, let's not
He's way younger right
let's
now.
not go into old
And
what I'm saying. Even
no,
if
no,
you're
no.
saying they'll
I'm
do
not talking
this
about age.
trilogy, school trilogy, and all trilogy, like
I'm not talking
the
about
story needs to
age.
make
I'm not
sense.
talking
See,
about age. I'm talking about I'm not age. I'm just saying that for Spider-Man, there are college stories. There are job stories to be
that's what
told.
I'm saying, right?
Right?
There needs to be stories. If
That's why you
one
can
day
do
they
it.
just take, because the character is famous, it's like Batman, right? The character is famous, let's just make a story. Every Batman movie is not great.
अरे it needs to go hand in hand है ना भाई. पिक्चर तभी बनेगी जब कहानी है, और अगर आप कहानी के बिना पिक्चर बना रहे हो तो वो फ्लॉप करेगी, लोग आएगी.
That's my point, right? Like even with Spider-Verse, that's what makes it different. That it's not just they are just pulling you in the name of Spider-Man.
Do you don't you think Spider-Verse went creatively all out, okay? But there's a fucker like Avi Arad, okay, who is one of the assholes at Sony, okay. He has been at the helm of every
Not
Spider-Man.
anymore, right?
No, Avi Arad is a producer on this.
No,
Big
Pascal is
producer.
right.
No, bhai,
Pascal. I saw
Avi Awad is
Pascal's
not
name.
part of Sony anymore,
Avi
dude.
Arad is. Avi Arad is. Avi Arad is. देख लो भाई.
Maybe he is
No,
also
dude.
there because I saw Pascal's name.
Avi Arad का भी है.
Possible है दोनों का हो, but I saw Pascal's name for sure.
Why did Spider-Man 3 Tobey Maguire ka have so many characters? Why did it have Venom? Because Avi Arad wanted to sell action figures, right? Imagine how many action figures will Across the Spider-Verse sell. You can go all out on the action figures. Commercially, मैं बोल रहा हूँ.
Oh, I saw I was in Target yesterday, and I saw at least not 6, 7, at least 10 of those action figures in the combo already in the market,
Get me one.
and it is
Get me one.
I can send you.
I think Harneet left.
मैं Delhi big one भेजता हूँ तुझे.
I'm here. I'm just listening.
Oh, oh.
Okay, coming back to Spider-Verse.
आपको कितनी मेटा पिक्चर है, मैं आपको बताता हूँ, ठीक है. यू कैनॉट ब्रेक कैनन. ये कौन बोलता होगा? प्रोड्यूसर बोलता होगा ना कि ये दोनों चीज होनी चाहिए.
Endgame.
अरे भाई, एक मेंटर कैरेक्टर की डेथ होती है, एक पुलिस ऑफिसर की डेथ होती है, ठीक है. ये स्पाइडरमैन की स्टोरी स्ट्रक्चर है ना, आप उससे बाहर नहीं निकल सकते. Maybe this was a brief the writers also got, na? You have to follow this certain structure.
This is a brief you get in every movie. Before you make any movie of Spider-Man, you talk, okay, we have to have a character of Uncle because we want to kill it.
Exactly.
The only reason of adding a character of Uncle is to kill it. Same for Aunt May and for Goblin and all that. Like you have to have a best friend apparently. It same happened for the Andrew Garfield movies also. When the first movie ended, people were like, where was the friend? Because the friend is the important one, because the friend's father is supposed to be gone.
Man, the Spider-Man 2, their friendship never worked for me. Like, what?
Yeah.
Suddenly आ गई ना.
Not going there. But that's how it works. Like, it's actually like Rohit is right. They were literally discussing the structure of a Spider-Man movie or a story in the middle of the movie.
एक प्रोड्यूसर से नोट्स आता है कि
I'm not
Boss, where is-
understanding what you guys are saying.
फर्स्ट
See,
मैंने
Loki में what did the term we used was Nexus event,
Nexus event, yes.
right? ये होगा तो
Yeah.
timeline will change. So ये नहीं होना चाहिए.
Okay, let me
In
understand.
Loki.
You guys are saying that what the whole thing about, you cannot change and the canon event thing is a metaphor to what studios tell writers that you have to tell a story like that. Is
Exactly,
that what you're trying to
exactly,
say? Okay,
exactly.
okay.
It's not just a metaphor, it's tongue in cheek. Like we talk in those terms. Like this is a movie canon. Like you
हाँ,
can't break canon. Like this is a part of canon कि ये story आएगी, ये character आएगा. It's part of a canon,
I
right?
didn't see it that
Loki
way.
used the term nexus, but this movie was so tongue in cheek. This literally used the word canon as a movie term. You know, to say कि नहीं canon is something which is supposed to happen.
Nona, it is like somebody discussing in the movie that hey, this is how the script is supposed to be. You
Yeah.
don't use the word script like because
हाँ.
script is outside the world. Outside the movie world, you talk about script and direction and I don't know editing and all that. But they were literally talking about those things in the movie. That hey, the editing
Like
of this scene is
we
bad.
talk about, right, is Miles Morales canon to MCU?
No, I
Why?
get
Is Ben
it.
Parker
I get it, but
canon to
what is the
MCU?
point?
What is the point? It is the way of it is a what is Spider-Verse? What is across the Spider-Verse? Why does it exist? Okay. Why does it exist? Hello?
Not always dancing. Dark. Oh.
Sir, why does it exist in the first place? Spider-Verse, the existence of Spider-Verse is a rebellion to convention. The convention of animation, the
Well
convention
said.
of storytelling,
I'm
the
tweeting that right
convention.
now.
So जब आप एक स्पाइडरमैन की स्टोरी लिखते हो ये सब आता है कि वेयर इज द अंकल फिगर हु डाइड ठीक है वेयर इज द बेस्ट फ्रेंड व्हाई डू यू थिंक एएसएम 2 सडनली हैड हैरी ऑसबॉर्न शो अप हाँ भाई तू तो मेरा दोस्त था बट एक पिक्चर में तो दिखा ही नहीं ये सब प्रोड्यूसर्स की वजह से होता है so Miles is
Yep,
someone
yep.
who is breaking that convention of what and ऐसे producers भी बोलते हैं ना we want you to make the best Spider-Man story possible that's why we are recommending you like Miguel and all the other Spider-Man are recommending him to do this so that the structure doesn't break
Yeah.
नहीं तो स्पाइडरमैन की आइडेंटिटी उस स्ट्रक्चर से इतना टाइड है कि ये होना पड़ेगा तभी आप स्पाइडरमैन बन सकते हो
It's like
In
saying
fact,
to
it is
Batman,
one of
तेरे mom dad मरना ही मरना है. Like, you can't
Exactly.
avoid that.
in fact, the day you start become your journey of becoming Batman starts on the day your parents die. If your parents don't die, what is your motivation? It is like that.
You
And
know,
what imagine somebody.
I was
This gave a feeling of honest thrillers plus pitch meeting का कुछ mix and match
Yes,
करके
yes, yes, yes,
there was
yes.
that feeling.
I was actually
Yes,
gonna save this actually whole conflict and what will happen in Beyond other movie for the end. But very interesting. Let's talk about it. Very interesting. I
we
didn't
are
think
talking about
about
it.
this, but my issue is that metaphor is really solid. But the issue is here to break the convention. First of all, the idea is that when Ben Parker dies, that's what causes Spider-Man to understand what the responsibility he has, and that's what leads him to the way of becoming a superhero.
right right
So
so
there needs to have event to happen in the sense of him to lead that path.
एक इंसाइटिंग इंसिडेंट होती है ठीक है एक इंसाइटिंग इंसिडेंट होती है जो हीरो को जो एक कैरेक्टर को हीरो बनाता है ठीक है फॉर एग्जांपल हैरी पॉटर का हॉगवर्ट्स लेटर आना ठीक है उसका हॉगवर्ट्स लेटर आना ठीक है फिर तुम्हारा सुपरमैन का उसका बाप मरना टेक्निकली
बाप मानना है. हाँ.
सुपरमैन का बाप मरता है स्पाइडरमैन का अंकल मरता है कोई ना कोई मरता है बॉस
Because
ठीक
even
है
in both cases, Superman was already Superman. He had those powers before his father dies.
यहाँ
Spider-Man
पे
had those powers before his uncle died. But after that moment, they're like, you know what? I have to be more responsible towards my powers.
यहाँ पे आप उस स्टेटस को चैलेंज कर रहे हो कि वो इंसाइटिंग इंसिडेंट किसी का मरना ही क्यों होना है
But the first movie, they did the same thing, na? They killed his uncle.
they did kill his uncle yeah so they changed the inciting incident na
But for in
हाँ,
in
but
Miles'
the
story,
point is,
that always happens, right?
But
His uncle dies.
according to Miguel, there are two things. According to Miguel, there are two things. First, Miles was
First of
not
all, you were not
supposed to
supposed to
be
be
a Spider-Man, right? He
because
thinks that the
because your world
spider was
already had a Spider-Man.
about to bite
No,
a Peter Parker in Earth 42.
No, actually no. I don't know. I don't.
He
no,
thinks.
no, no.
He thinks.
He said
He
he
thinks.
said that
But
your world already had a Peter Parker. He already had
a
a
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man.
yeah.
You were not supposed to be Spider. No.
yeah,
उसकी वर्ल्ड में Peter
the
Parker was
Earth
supposed to
42
be Spider-Man.
spider was supposed to bite Miles Morales of Earth 42.
Who became Prowler?
Yes.
Yeah, but he
Yes.
doesn't know that. But Miguel doesn't know that. Miguel thinks that it was a mistake. Like Miles Morales was not supposed to be Spider-Man. The Earth 42
No, no,
spider was
no.
supposed to bite
No, no,
Peter
no, no.
Parker of
He
Earth 42.
said that you were never supposed to become Spider-Man.
Never supposed to
In
be
Earth
Spider-Man.
42, whoever
Because
the spider bites
हाँ,
was
वो जो
supposed to
भी
become.
होगा.
Yeah.
हाँ.
Because
But he doesn't know that there also. But there also, the spider was about to
Miguel
bite
is right.
Miles Morales.
Miguel is right because when we go to Earth 42, we do see that that world does not have a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to go there only in Earth 42. But the point is that this Miles Morales world already had a Spider-Man. That is why there was not supposed to be like that.
Another
That's why Miles Morales was not supposed to be Spider-Man. So there was no need of it, and he blamed him that because of you that Peter Parker died.
Yeah.
Like he's the anomaly,
He,
right?
he mentioned that. Yes, he mentioned that.
No.
Yes.
Anomaly.
Anomaly.
And
You are
that
the
is why,
first anomaly.
that is why he did not include him in the Spider-Man society.
Imagine it is commenting on the basic identity of Spider-Man. पहले मूवी से anybody can be Spider-Man. जब वहाँ पे मैरी जेन बोलती है ना anybody can be Spider-Man in that speech when Peter dies and I'm counting on you and जब वो Miles बोलता है she's counting on me. Don't you remember that moment?
It's been some time, man.
Into
But
the
okay.
And the guy
Come to the
next to him
point.
says
Come to
he
the
means in
point.
general.
वो सीन
The
है.
point-
Come to the point.
The point is, ठीक है, hypothesis में दे रहा हूँ, ठीक है, like Spot said, hypothesis, ठीक है, you cannot have Spider-Man without a tragedy being the inciting incident, right?
Okay.
Spider-Verse challenges this very question. It is when your character gains awareness, ठीक है, for example, तुम्हारे कैरेक्टर को कोई किसी ने बोला स्पाइडरमैन को बहनचोद तू फिक्शनल है, ठीक है, तेरा बाप मरेगा, तेरा माँ मरेगा, तेरी
वीडियो गई है तो चलो ठीक है आगे.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I hope ना हो. I really hope ना हो.
Continue.
So it is the character is asking, why do I need to go through so much tragedy? Why can't it just be out of a call to action which comes from within? Don't I have enough pain already? Why do I need a death? Your character is asking that, and by the end of Beyond, will really realize that does Spider-Man need a tragedy in the form of death?
Does it need so many of that? I think that's the whole point here.
See,
Yeah,
okay, I think now
I think
we are coming to a place I'm understanding where this discussion is going. So I think my point is that, and I think this is something I really hated about the Flash TV show, that something happened, right? The hero was like, no, whatever it is doesn't matter. If we believe in good, we have to think about something. Like literally the character says we cannot do anything now, and it's like, no, we have to think. Arey, he said he cannot do anything. What do you mean no? अरे कहीं कुछ नहीं हो सकता, but suddenly no, he's a hero, he'll do something or host it. So I was frustrated with that whole way of telling a story that no, you can save everyone. No, I am the hero, we can save, no one needs to die. But my point is that sacrifice is what makes you a hero. You are doing something extraordinary and some price has to be paid, because it's all about a balance in life. You cannot have all the happiness. You cannot save every person.
What happens in Mumbattan also. That happens in Mumbattan as well.
If
in Mumbattan, when he's saving the kid, like he's saving his girlfriend, he has to make a choice: should he go and save the father or the
Yeah,
girlfriend? And he chooses to stay at the girlfriend level,
because the
while
girlfriend
the
was
other
not alone.
Spider-Man,
There were a lot more people in that bus.
yes, that's why he took the decision. But in this world, there was another Spider-Man who saved the uncle, or the father basically, and that
What?
is
What?
where
What?
the anomaly happened.
So he's
The other
asking.
Spider-Man,
So the film is asking, what's the point of a support system if you don't support
yeah.
each other? If you let tragedies happen to people, what's the
Array,
point?
but the point is that, see, that you are thinking, oh, then the whole job of the whole Spider-Man army is that go to each other's universe and save each other's Ben and Parker and everyone, right?
So, bhai, but minimize damage, na?
Array,
And
but
what is the,
who
but based on
prioritized
what?
that?
Based on what?
No. See, Spider-Man का मतलब ये है, like I'm going back to the basics of Spider-Man. It was supposed to be you are ready to give up or sacrifice your own people for the sake of the greater good, which is saving others. And
Right.
that's what he was saying. And that's why saving the bus was like was what Spider-Man is supposed to do at the price of the father.
But he already made that choice, na? So that makes him Spider-Man. Why does he have to lose now?
That's no,
What
that's
is
why
he losing?
that's why
He,
who's losing what?
Gayatri would lose her father, right?
So see, my other point is that it's also, who is Spider-Man to stop someone else sacrificing himself for a greater good? That guy is
Very.
not out of choice trapped there. The guy is choosing to go and save the person, and in the process he's sacrificing his life.
Right.
So
So there is
who
another.
is Spider-Man to take away that choice from him? No, I have to save him, he
So,
cannot die.
No. But Miguel is doing that
but
because he has already suffered once. And that's why he does
Miguel,
not want others.
No, that's
Continue,
what I'm
go on.
saying, right? That's what I'm saying. I'm actually on the side of Miguel in this discussion.
Yeah,
That
even
when
I am
he
to
yeah, so
some
when he
extent.
says that, a certain event and that's what, I hope the next movie, I don't know what they are trying to do. There's a show called Dark, which is one of my favorite. I don't know how many of you have seen it.
The
I've seen the
German one?
first.
Yeah, the German show Dark.
I've seen
Yeah,
the first
sure.
season.
Yeah, so I'll not spoil it. So in that
बाप बेटे से मिलता
show,
है बेटा दादा से मिलता है.
yeah, in that's also this point comes in, right? That and the I don't know, spoil the show, yeah, how to say it.
Yeah, time travel na is complicated. We're talking
I'm
about time
not no, I'm
travel.
not getting into
This is
time travel at all. I'm
multiverse.
not getting into time travel at all. I'm saying that you cannot have everything. In that show, also at the end, when things work out, you don't get everything. It's not a happy ending for everyone. You cannot. Some are sacrificed. They are gone because of the greater good. That's a part of being a superhero or a hero in any sense.
See, your argument is sometimes there is no way to save everyone, right?
And that's
But
what makes life, right?
okay. But here Miles is like, why are you stopping me from trying? That's his whole point. Like, if I am trying to save my father, you are saying no, your father has to die because he is a captain. In every Spider universe, a police captain dies because he is a police captain.
See, see
Right. Now he
the
knows, Miles knows, and he's like, I'll try to save my father. They're like, no, you should not try to save him because that's what makes you Spider-Man. A police captain dying is what makes you a Spider-Man.
Yeah,
How is
exactly.
that
But
logical?
no, see, my point is, first of all, he, in the context of what we're talking in the movie, he's already an anomaly. Okay? And according to the sequence, what I understood, that they let that anomaly be. Ben Park, the Peter
That's
B.
according to
Parker,
Miguel.
Peter B.
See,
Parker
that's
was sent in the first movie by Miguel.
no.
Yeah, that's what he said. No, he said, I knew you were an anomaly. Peter B. Parker said, Miguel sent me to your universe because you were an anomaly. But after being with you, I told him, let him be. Let him be the Spider-Man of that world now. Now the whole point is, it's not that, oh, you save your father who's a captain, it's gonna be fine. It's not that. We saw what's happening to Mumbatan now. There is
Yeah.
a price if you go to change. No, no one has to die. If I can save, why not save him?
But
There's
they
a
said,
price to pay for that.
but they said Pavitra's dimension is collapsing, and there are spider people who are trying to save it, right?
Yeah.
But we don't know if it's saved or not. So maybe it's reserved for the next movie. We can't say anything. So Nona, I agree with you also. I agree with you also. But you know, the fun of this film comes from the challenge it's presenting, na?
See that I understand that challenge, but it see if by the end it's like Miles is like, no, I can save him, I saved him, nothing happened, then that is actually you're underplaying the deaths of everyone, every other Spider-Man who lost. Are they not smart enough? Are they not Spider-Man enough that they understand? No, I can save.
I
Is
kuch to
Miles?
hoga.
See, Miles is set up as an anomaly, right? Maybe he sets up something new, but if
His
this
father is not going to die.
if this
See,
three
basically, he's going to
films
save his father.
if these three
And
films
the point is,
end,
he's an.
see if these
The
three
point
films
is,
end with a happy note that everything is figured out, Miles saved the day at the end of the day and it's all normal, that's will really affect me.
no. The point is, he's an anomaly, right? Already, and the universe did not collapse. And if he saves his father, this police captain does not die.
No,
The
because
universe
he
will
replaced the
still not
Spider-Man,
collapse.
right? He replaced the Spider-Man.
See, what Miguel is trying to say, he's not correct. He's not correct in all of it, right? He's not just giving you facts.
See,
It's a theory that he has developed that this
dude,
has to
it's a
happen or the
proven
universe
theory.
will
What do
die.
you mean it's just a theory? It's a proven theory,
No, no,
right?
no.
But
So
no,
it's a proven theory for other Spider-Man. It's
yeah.
not applied to Miles. That okay, automatically it has to be applied for Miles also. Miles is
So
an anomaly Spider-Man already. So
I'm
he's
having a,
trying to save his father.
I'm having a very fine thought. If I don't say it, I'll lose it. Okay. So the thing is, shit, did I lose it?
No, Rohit, ऐसे मत कर
So,
यार.
okay. Now I got it back. I got it back. So Miguel has a hypothesis to what can happen to the universe based on a couple of things he has seen,
Hmm.
which is controlled by the bias of trauma.
Hmm. Makes sense.
So Miguel is projecting his trauma on everyone. He hasn't healed, and he won't let other people.
See,
I believe you have told us the story of the next movie because this is exactly what they will explore in the next movie. That's the only way they can show Miles Morales, our Miles Morales, win this movie. Or else the other part is that they just prove that yes, his dad has to die.
Sally, you've seen Dark,
Spider,
They
no?
talk about this.
maybe
I have
the
not seen Dark,
essence,
but I know
Oh
everything
yeah,
about
who
it.
has seen Dark?
maybe
Come on, there's
maybe
so many parallels I want to talk about, but I cannot. Anyways,
maybe
yeah.
the essence of Spider-Man is to suffer tragedy. Maybe it is, but that doesn't mean you can't heal, right? The point that Peter B. Parker says कि when I met Miles, I decided to have a kid and restart my entire life, right?
Yeah.
Then how is the anomaly
My
bad? Then how
Oh,
is
I
the
love
anomaly bad?
Nicolas Cage's voice. Nicolas Cage won this movie with his voice.
See,
Yeah.
I don't know what will lead to his world collapsing, but I'm talking about the facts that when it didn't happen, what did it lead to Mumbai? Now
Yeah.
the film established with Gwen, right, that her father didn't die. He's not gonna die because he quit. He's not captain anymore. So that kind
The
of
fact the fact that Spider-Man हम
a woman.
Spider-Man Spider Spider-Man Spider-Man हम सारा
Yeah, but
agency
but there's a very small dialogue if you remember. So when uh, our Miles Morales' dad, he's just getting into the car. Somebody says, "Good night, Captain," and he says, "Not until tomorrow." So he's not yet captain. So they will definitely explore that part. They will talk
exactly.
about a day just before he turns captain, and maybe they will just make him stop becoming captain, or
If
maybe
you,
like just something happens, he does not become captain.
if you play Miles Morales' story in Spider-Man PS4, his father dies. That's why he becomes Miles. His father does die.
Yeah. See, your point, right,
But
of
they don't need to support it. They don't need to like follow Miles
It
Morales' real
it won't
story.
it won't it won't probably it won't. Phil Lord and
Yeah,
Chris Miller know what they're doing, and
that's the
sometimes
whole point of multiverse. That's the whole point of multiverse. Like you can have the same character with the different story.
see, I
Similar,
just
but
want to say that the whole metaphor to Spider-Verse being an what the word you used? It's a rebellion. It's a rebellion against the norms. But let's go backtrack. Like, let's see why we have come to a time where when you create a Spider-Man, you need to kill Uncle Parker
he's a rebellion
and
because he's
all
a
of
teenager.
that.
That's what he was saying. That's what he mentioned twice that he's 15 years old. They want to show him he's a teenager rebellion.
No, no, no,
so do
no,
you
He's a
not
rebellious
that
teenager.
Ray, not that rebel. The
No, no,
metaphor that Spider-Verse,
but
what
his
Spider-Verse is
attitude,
doing is
but
a
his attitude
rebellion
towards
against how films are made and how stories are written.
can I
yeah,
can I
because
can I add to
Spider-Man
this?
at its core was supposed to be a young person, and that's why a lot of people thought that it will fail because usually superheroes are adults. But he was supposed his rebellion part came in in his storyline was because he was a teenager.
Sahil, we are not on the same page.
Okay,
I'm
we are
not
not on
talking
the same
about that.
page.
I'm saying that part, right? That what Spider-Verse is challenging the norms of what you write a story. That every Spider-Man needs to have someone who die and all of that, right? If you just backtrack to that point, right, when Spider-Man is created, when a character is created, when a superhero, these are what do you say?
Archetypes,
Archetypes or norms in superhero storytelling that you need to have someone close who becomes a villain. You need to have someone close who dies. This is because to raise the stakes of the storytelling. If
right?
Spider-Man is only fighting random strangers who have nothing to do with him, it is not fun. It's not interesting. We will not care. We care because he's fighting his best friend. We care because his father is gonna die or his uncle is gonna die. We care that
We care
Miles'
because
uncle
he's
is a
fighting his
villain.
nemesis.
What?
And there will be
We care
conflict,
because he's fighting his nemesis in this movie.
Yeah.
but the nemesis are born out of close ones. No, that's what Nona is.
See, the Spot is the biggest villain in his life because he's the cause of his father's death. If it was cause of some random person's death, he would not care. We would not care. Forget him.
Also, he's the first villain he created,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
according
I
to
was
him.
and which is gonna ruin his own life. So you need to have these, and that's why we need to have heroes who lose people so that it makes it. So it's like a paradox. It's like a conundrum. It's like what comes first, chicken or egg? Do we create a hero who no he doesn't have to lose anyone? Then how do you create a compelling storytelling?
you know
Chicken came
what
first, no?
you know what Miles is what where Miguel and Miles were similar for me as characters. Very fine line here. For example, तूने जो बोला नोना राइट, उसने इंस्पेक्टर सिंह को बचा के पवित्र की एजेंसी छीन ली राइट.
मैंने ये नहीं बोला बट एनीवेज मैं बोल रहा
बट
हूँ इंस्पेक्टर सिंह की एजेंसी छीन ली.
हाँ, मतलब पवित्र ने जो चॉइस बनाई थी, जो चॉइस ली थी, उसका इम्पैक्ट घटा दिया बेसिकली. यही बोलता है
हाँ.
ना. He did, यही हुआ. अब what is Miguel doing? Miguel is not letting Miles make his own choices.
See,
He's
my
not tapping him in a cage.
my
He's not
counter to
even.
that is, it's not like Miguel is saying your father has to die, so I am gonna go and kill him. What we
No,
see is actually like I don't know if you call a future or you call just a manifestation. I don't know what do you call it. The
A
whole
prophecy.
2D image, 2D drawing we saw of his father dying in that when he connected to
It was a prophecy
Spot.
kind of a thing that your
Yeah,
dad is going to
prophecy
die.
of
Actually,
like in that prophecy, it's like Spot is the reason his father dying, right?
yes.
If he stays
Actually,
there,
no.
if he's not there, it
Silent.
doesn't
So
matter.
if you remember, so there was a moment for some reason he saw in the future that the uncle is going to die, like the father-in-law is going to die of the Pavitra Prabhakar, and that's why he saves him that way. He also similarly got a vision of his father also dying through the Spot, like by
both were
because of
police
Spot.
captains. Both were police captains. So it like
Yes,
it
yes.
See, I'll just
worked
give
out.
you an example. There are two kids, right? One kid says, I want to jump in this hole. And he's like, okay, and he jumps and he gets injured. And the other kid says, I also want to jump. And he's like, no, I'll not let you jump because I know what it will cause. He saw in Mumbattan, if you save the uncle, what happens? Save the policeman, what happens? So he's like not letting Miles go and save because he knows what will be the outcome of it. We just saw it.
But he also
He's
sees that
not
that will
preventing
happen
him
with
from
everyone else also.
But speaking of holes, okay. So what Miguel is doing, मैंने एक गड्ढा में जंप किया, ठीक है, मैंने एक गड्ढा में जंप किया, ठीक है, ये गड्ढा डीप निकला, वो मुझे चोट पहुंची, बू फकिंग हूँ, ठीक है, I got hurt, okay. Now Pavitra also jumped in a thing. So somebody else jumped in another hole which turned out to be deep. Okay. So he's like, oh my god, all holes are deep. So maybe let Miles jump into the hole.
No, but the point is, it's not like he knows that literally all the other holes are deep. It's just one hole is left.
He's generalizing everything, na?
But okay,
No,
I'm sorry.
But he's
see,
able to
when
balance
a
his
kid is
movement.
jumping, his leg is getting injured, not the whole world's. That's the difference.
And
If
so
his
it is not, but the point is, it is not just one kid. Miguel has proven that everyone in that
universe
in
dies, like the whole world is
universe-
gone.
Yeah, because he has a proof of all the other worlds. He's not talking about just his own world. He's like, see, look at that, but look at those millions of Spider-Man's world which are going well because they let their dad die.
The canon,
And that is what
canon events
what-
happened.
Yes, exactly. It is not generation, it is canon. There's a difference. Generation is that, hey, I saw 4 people do it, so you will also not do it. But canon is that literally everyone does it. That's why you should not do it.
I think we'll get an answer to this.
Yeah, so my major
But
point I wanted
the
to
answer
discuss.
I believe the
Yeah.
answer is, I believe the answer is what Roy said earlier. It has to be something related to the trauma. Miguel has to have the end of his character arc, not our Miles Morales. The movie is supposed to be about Miguel more than Miles Morales.
I guess so because first movie was his, second is Gwen's, and I think third will be Miguel's.
Point is, if it is about Miguel, then you can still root for Miles Morales. But if it is about Miles Morales, then you are not even taking you are basically saying that we don't care what Miguel said. But Miguel was right. You have to prove that Miguel was wrong. That is the only way our Miles Morales becomes right. He does not become right by just saving his dad. That will not do anything.
And
But
that's
if
my
you prove that Miguel was wrong.
Yeah, and that's my actual
Then
worry, that I just hope they deal with it in a way that makes good
like
sense.
Thanos,
Not
right? Basically like Thanos. Thanos, we were convinced by the end of Infinity War that Thanos is right. This should happen. But then in Endgame, it's proven that no, Thanos is wrong. People should not die.
is he?
Just
Who are,
for
who are you to play judge, jury, and executioner, boss?
He's not playing judge, jury, executioner.
No.
But he's playing executioner, na?
Thanos.
He's like
yes.
he's judging on the Thanos is judging on the basis कि हाँ भाई pollution है, ठीक है? तो चोरी
pollution.
करना चाहिए and वो कर देता है.
Thanos ने बोला कि मेरी दुनिया खराब हुई because of overpopulation. I will solve overpopulation for everyone else also.
Who are you to solve?
Who are you? So how do you choose what is the best way to solve overpopulation? That was the issue. Thanos' way of choosing the solution of overpopulation was
See,
wrong.
Thanos was acting on it. He was actively acting on it. Whereas Miguel is like
No.
not acting on it. He's
no.
like, we cannot change things.
That is also acting because he's acting on himself of not doing something which he's supposed to do. Spider-Man is supposed to save people, but he's acting on the fact that no, I should not do something. That's what he's acting on. And Thanos has the same issue here. The issue is, again, I'm saying, issue is not why he was doing it or not. It was what they were doing. They were choosing a wrong way to solve the problem. They were identifying the problem correctly. Thanos identified the problem correctly, but his way of solving it was wrong. Same for Miguel as well. Identifies the problem, but his way of solving it is wrong. That's what Miles Morales said. That's why in the third movie we have to prove that Miguel's way of solving it, which is not doing anything, is wrong. Something has to be done.
But I hope they just deal it well because I'll be late
Yeah,
turned off. It's not
because
done
the
well.
point is, and that's why we're supposed to see Miguel's story because we want to see that whatever Miguel did in his own universe, it was wrong. He could have done something better to save his kid, or to have that life with his family. He could have done something else, not what he did. Just because whatever he did was wrong, but didn't work out, does not mean that he should not do anything. There has to be some B, C, plan B, plan C, plan D. That's what the whole movie is about. I think that's what we will see Miles do it. Miles will just not just go and save his dad. He will do something else, which will save his dad. That's
Miles
what.
Miles was created by the spot, right? If you think like that, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Mi-
yeah. He
Miguel,
was the one
Miguel,
who got that.
Miguel took an active decision, okay, to change his life by entering another dimension. This is very
Yes.
different. It's
Yes.
very different.
What?
Thanos ने भी तो वही किया था ना.
Let me let me
चुपचाप.
let, let me just find this thing, please. Why is time travel such a risky subject? Because it affects because
Don't mess up with the time.
wait, let me speak. Because it affects the general flow of cause and effect, right? एक पिक्चर कॉज एंड इफेक्ट के फ्लो में चलती है, एक स्टोरी कॉज एंड इफेक्ट के फ्लो में चलती है, ठीक है? Here are two filmmakers who make Spider-Verse, okay? And they ask, why can't we change the cause and effect? Why can't it be custom made to the character, okay? And not to the archetype of Spider-Man. This is what's happening. Of course, Miles is going to suffer a loss. He already did, right? He already lost his uncle, right? But shouldn't he try? Shouldn't he try at least?
Are
In his
because we
own
saw what happens if he saves him.
of whom?
You are saying let's see what will be the cause. We know what will be the cause and effect.
अरे भाई, सुनो तो. Miles is trying to save his own father.
Yeah.
Here he's
But we already see. But we already. That's what he's saying. No, we know if you do that. We already saw if you save the policeman, what will it lead to? How can I
but he
let you
No, no, no,
go
no.
and
It is
save one
it
person to kill the
it is a
entire world?
project.
but he
It is
saved
not
someone
a
else in another universe, right? He saved someone else, but
Doesn't matter who saved him. That canon event needed to happen. Otherwise, we saw what the impact of that. The whole world is in danger.
देखो
That's the
भाई,
whole point, right?
हम गोल गोल घूमते रहेंगे.
Yeah,
मैं
the
honestly,
message of the movie is to end with the fact that other Spider-Man also just realize understand that
थोड़ा
you can save the life, and even they go back to their own vessels and save the people. That's
See, in other
how it's
worlds,
supposed to
okay,
end.
take Andrew Garfield movie. Okay,
Yeah.
take Andrew Garfield movie. The inspector died, right? He did not try to save him.
He did not. He did that. But the point is that other people might not. People do not need to just keep on dying. Other,
See, it's
just like
basically going
no,
against the destiny, right? It's the
guys,
destiny point.
I'm just
no, it's not.
writing something down regarding this conversation.
See,
Just give me
that's
5 minutes.
sure, sure. But that's what even we showed in the Peter B. Parker story. Even he was able to somewhat modify his life by having that kid. You can change your life. You
No,
can
but
have
who
to just
says?
keep on being
But
present.
who says that him having a kid was not like predestined or was is not anomaly? Who said that having
But the
his kid is
point,
not an anomaly?
no, it is because Spider-Man's life, his decision is to just keep on being miserable at the time. Because he's and just losing people, and he has to just keep on losing people in his life, and that's what Peter B. Parker is able to change by having that kid, and that's what they have to show it for other people also. You don't have to be miserable. Why is every Spider-Man miserable? Why? Why do they always have to end the movie being miserable? It happened with even our MCU Spider-Man. At the end, he loses his best friend and his girlfriend as well. Why? Because he had just like
See, I
clearly
have two answers to that, right? I have
yeah.
a one is a practical answer of telling a story,
Okay.
You need to bring challenges to your hero to make it interesting. Other answer is a philosophical or whatever you want to call it. That the
But at some
sacrifice is
point you
what
have
makes
to.
hero. Like then
But at
anyone
one
would be
point,
hero. It would be so easy. I'm a hero.
after becoming the hero, can the hero get a happy ending also? Why not?
He
When does
does
the misery stop?
see.
When does the misery stop? Because if you see Miguel, he's still miserable. Miguel is still miserable. He's the head of the entire Spider-Man community. He's still miserable. Why can't he have a good life? Now, after he has done so much for the world of the universe of the multiverse, why can he
See, but
still
that's a
not
part of being
have
a
a good
hero,
life?
right?
I know that, but that's what Miles is challenging. Miles, if you look at his life, he has always wanted to lead a good life. He wants to be happy. He wants to do things in this world. He's even after the first part movie, he still wants to work on that, like the time travel thing and all that. He wants to go to pension and everything. He's still looking forward to his life. He's not like, okay, this is my life. I will just go and save people
See, but
like from getting robbed and all that.
that's what I'm saying, right? You have to make a choice. You cannot,
He has made
see
a
that's
choice.
what makes you
He
a hero,
has made
right?
a
You
choice.
cannot expect, you don't expect good things to happen to me.
That no,
That's why
no,
I'm doing good things, right?
sorry, no, no, you are acting as Miguel right now. Miguel is also saying the same thing that you have to just keep on being visible, you have to just keep on being like
See,
just keep on sacrificing.
it's like part of
And
the
Miles is
job,
saying
buddy.
that yes, no, but saying if for me to become superhero, I had to make a sacrifice. I have already done that. Let me also have a good life as a superhero. Miguel is, I'm sorry, Miles is trying to like challenge that.
The answer
He
to
was
that
saying
is
he,
work-life balance. See, I'll take you real life
and that's
example.
what
I'll
Miles
take
is
a real
doing.
life example.
Yeah, even I am doing that. Even I am giving a real, actually, yeah, we both are on the same page now about the work-life balance, and that's what Miles is trying to achieve. Why can't he achieve that? I
Can I
know in the real world it is difficult, but it is still possible. Some people do end up achieving a work-life balance. People do that. Not many, not all, but some people do. That's what Michael is saying. Then why can't you also
See,
do it?
can
there's a hypothesis and then there's a facts. The fact is, if you do it, then the world will end. That's what happened to
can I
Mountbatten.
can I read something out?
Mm,
It's not like you
oh,
don't know what may happen. Let us try. It's not that.
Can I read something out which I have written?
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
talking. Yeah, yes, yes, yes.
Where are Miguel and Miles the same? Okay. Miles and Miguel are the same when it came to interfering with another universe. Miguel replaced someone's life in another universe, and this is why that universe collapsed. Miles interfered in the proceedings of another universe, that is why Pavitra's universe collapsed. But what Miguel does not understand that Miles can at least act in the universe when it act in his universe when it comes to saving
Yes,
his father and is not related
yes,
to any other universe of Spider-Man. Moral of
yes.
Spider-Verse, each Spider-Man has agency in his universe and not other universes and people. Basically, the moral of the story, each person can be the master of his destiny. That's what
Why
it
do
is.
you think this is the we just leaked the story of Beyond?
This has to be the story. That is the whole point. That's why I'm saying they have to just Miguel is wrong. They do not have to prove that Miles was right. Don't have to do that. Because Miles is just being in his own universe. His focus is only in his own universe. He's just focusing on that, and he's happy doing it. He has achieved that work-life balance. He can achieve. He's on the path of achieving work-life balance, and he will do it if Miguel lets him do it.
It's also about this film is also talking about generational trauma, where parents are
Yes,
like हम
yes.
where parents are like हमने नहीं किया तो तू भी नहीं करेगा, ठीक है? But वो बंदा successful,
हम ट्राई कर चुके हैं. We have failed. तू भी fail करेगा.
so don't we even let him try?
Adding to Rohit's hypothesis, अभी जो इसने बोला, you can do anything in your own universe.
You right now
Like
understand.
Miles
You
was
see,
an anomaly in his own universe. That's
So I
why his universe didn't break, right? All the Spider-Man are supposed to suffer, but Peter B. Parker goes to his universe and then, goes back to Mary Jane and has a baby in his own universe. It didn't break. So when you change things in your own universe, if you are able to change them and you're successful, it doesn't mean that universe will break. But if you interfere in someone else's universe, then as evidence suggests, it will break.
I will say hence proven when the next movie comes out. Okay.
LHS is equal to RHS.
I'll just say this has been
Yes.
an amazing discussion. I loved the way we. I think this is what I always expect our discussions to be, but we don't reach that level because most
This
films are
is why
not
we
worth
wanted
talking
Rohit in
about.
the Bahubali in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 discussion.
Guardians was. Fine. Anyways,
But we wanted Rohit on that.
see, but
We
this
know
was this.
Rohit
I think
would have done that.
this discussion will continue when the next movie comes out. So we will continue take it ahead. But let's move on. I am not talking about the whole Indian segment of Spider Verse.
Guys, check the comments box. Why does
Favorite
Miguel
part of
not?
the
That's why it's an anomaly.
I don't know if you have seen New Rockstar's video, right?
Uh,
When Spot is telling a story that the spider was supposed to bite someone in his universe, it's actually Miles of that universe. In the drawing,
is it?
it's Miles with that same hairstyle. The spider is going to that, and then it's taken away.
the one who went and the beginning problem.
Yeah, in the beginning when he says, right, I created
Yeah,
you.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I had
Yes,
this spider. The spider is going to Miles of Earth 42, and then it's taken
Nice.
away. So basically, that Miles was supposed to become Spider-Man, but he
Nice.
ended up becoming Prowler.
Good, good,
my
good.
point. Proving my point. Universes metaphorically or physically collapse when उसकी agency ले ली जाती है. ठीक है? That's why Miles और इनका life collapse कर गया. That's why Jefferson Davis died.
But who
That was
says
the
if he had become Spider-Man, his father wouldn't have died?
भाई अब तो मुझे नहीं पता ना ये प्राउलर के साथ क्या करेंगे. That is the mystery I can't solve. ठीक है? See, there are some dead ends which I can't solve right now.
Yeah,
I think
that's true.
Prowler Wala part is the most interesting part of the entire movie now, in the third part, because we know everything about everyone, enough to predict what is going to happen with them. But Prowler, we have no fucking clue. And that is what people like what attract audience to go and watch the movie, because we don't know what he is going to change in this whole storyline. We know everything is going to happen for everyone else, but how will you end Prowler's story? I think, and that's why I feel the movie is supposed to be on Miguel and also Prowler, not
Maybe
on
the
these two.
हाँ साहिल बोल रहे sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying like Prowler and Miguel would be the center of the movie in the next movie, not Miles Morales, not Gwen Stacy.
Maybe this Spider-Verse trilogy will really redefine what we think of Spider-Man as a character. You know, that's what they're trying to do. It's a difficult task. You know, nobody asked for it, but you are redefining characters as we go along. You know what it means to be Spider-Man. Can anyone be Spider-Man? Even when Stanley बोलता है ना into the Spider-Verse में even it मतलब it fits everyone eventually. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just realized that this is a film where when you sit together and talk about it, it becomes better and better. You know, there are movies which you sit and talk about it and it becomes worse because you find law issues and all of that. And this is a movie, the more we talk about it, I'm more like, wow, they did this, they did that. I didn't even look at it that, you know, with that angle and all of that. Wow, man. Love it. It'll be more fun to now rewatch the movie again.
I wish we were all together at this point. We could have gone for a rewatch, you know, together. Like and
Someday, soon.
वो फीलिंग जो है ना आप फूड कोर्ट में दोस्तों के साथ बैठ के बर्गर खोल के एक पिक्चर के बारे में बात कर रहे हो ना. And I think these conversations do feel like that to a certain extent.
I hope
Thank you,
people
Nona.
listening are okay.
You know, when they made Spider-Verse, the first one, they probably didn't know who was going to watch this film. An animated Spider-Verse, Spider-Man movie. So it really doesn't matter who's listening as long as we are here to listen to each other.
Yeah.
You know, like
I think
By
there's
the
a
way,
lot, by the way.
I love your new Reacts channel.
Oh,
ये वाला.
thank you.
कभी कभार खाते खाते I just open it and watch.
Did you change your camera, Nona?
For good or bad?
Good. It
No,
is
it's the same.
better.
It's a webcam only.
It's a webcam.
Is the is the
Good.
shelf new?
Good lighting. No, it's very old, dude. It's like too old. It's like from Delhi. I brought it to Goa. It's that old.
Oh, you used to live in Delhi, kya?
NCR, Indrapuram.
Oh, when did you
Yeah,
shift?
My wife is from
2010. Wife is from?
Indrapuram.
Areva. Ask her if she knows Railway or St. Thomas School.
Yeah, obviously she knows that.
Don't tell me if she is my senior from school.
She's not. She's not.
CDD is also technically my neighbor.
Yeah. वो उसका like paternal house is in the same area of Rohit's current house.
Dude, how did you choose her, man? Like, you saw all these things and then decided?
No.
And it's,
लॉन्डी पहले मिलते हैं बातें बाद में होती है ना.
It was predestined.
Yeah, interesting.
and it's strange that Sahil was kind of the second person I connected to nothing but. First was Basu.
Yeah,
I was, you know,
was Basu second Rohit.
I got to know Sahil through Rohit,
Hmm.
you know, and I've never met Sahil, you know, and the way we have connected, I was
Have you
just
met
telling
Rohit?
him that day. Yeah, I met Rohit. He came to Goa, no?
Oh yeah,
It's
you
a-
both in the same college, right?
Yeah, but we never met that time.
Oh, अच्छा.
I still don't believe. I never recollect him. You know how I reached out to him? Do you know the story? Okay, we are still live, by the way, guys.
It's a post live talk.
Yeah, so we'll. So I was thinking there's a lot more to talk about. So should we do it tomorrow? Because maybe
I don't know.
Varun and all also Manoj also join
Tomorrow,
us.
I'm not sure, but yeah, we can try. Same time,
Koshish to-
we can try.
Yeah.
Same time, Sahil, don't do.
हाँ, ठीक है, ठीक
Fuck, it's been 2 hours.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
been 2 hours.
That's what I'm saying. I'm hungry. That's why I'm saying we'll take it forward.
I
But
have to
also,
go out.
I want to know Sahil from you. So I was thinking for the next podcast, right? Instead of doing like what DC is doing and all that, let's focus on, you know, something topic. So I was thinking best superhero couples. And through that, I would
Good one,
also
good
like
one.
to with you to talk to you about your marriage if you are comfortable with it.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Not
with
marriage as in your details and all, but just your philosophy about it and you know how superheroes affect that and what you have like
Sure,
from
sure,
media. So I think it'll be
sure,
fun
sure,
for all
sure.
of us to talk about
Sure.
these things.
it. Sure.
Guys, I was also thinking, what if we just take one, like an assignment? We read one graphic novel, okay? And we come on a podcast and discuss that.
नोना का चेहरा देखा मैंने. क्या मुंह हिला उसका.
Dude, I literally have 10 films on my board I need to watch ASAP. And I'm not able to get it because I'm just binging The Big Bang Theory. Do you think I'll find time to read a graphic novel? First of all, I had to pay for that shit. No, I'm not paying for any shit.
No, I know a site.
No, I hate that, dude. I literally, that's why I have like physical books I read. I cannot read on, like, see, I already do so much on screens. I cannot take it anymore. I want to cut down.
I have a
Good
tablet to
point.
read. I have a tablet to read, but it helps.
No, I hate on like screen reading. I want a
can't-
physical media.
I
Yeah.
can't afford graphic novels. Yeah, matlab, each graphic novel goes like 1,500.
And you only raise that point. We'll do graphic novel, we'll read and talk about it.
Exactly, because boss, you were from animation. You used to be locked in dungeons. Okay, I am expecting a certain kind of tolerance to laptop screens. Okay, I can stay on screen because I used to be an editor.
Ah,
I'm still an editor.
those days. Anyways, guys, I think let's wrap it up here. I'm hungry. I had lovely discussion, but let's take it to tomorrow. First time we are, doing this. We will continue our discussion. We have to
like
talk
the
about the
movie, we
Indian
have part two,
Spider-Man.
Part 1, Part 2.
Yeah, part 1, part 2. We have talked about Indian Spider-Man. We will talk about the cliffhanger we still haven't talked about and other, different Spider-Man characters and best moments. So we'll talk about that in the next one, guys. You can see it on screen right now here.
I want to
Click
talk
it.
about the voices as well. The
Yeah.
voice artist.
We'll talk about all of that.
Did anyone see the Shubman Gill dub?
I saw the trailer.
Yeah,
It's just, the Punjabi one sounds much fun, honestly, than the Hindi.
Yeah.
he's
I
a
saw it in
guy.
Punjabi.
He cannot. His Hindi is not good.
But they have done a great
Punjabi
job.
was
Huh? It
so
doesn't
natural.
feel like it's like if you don't tell me that Shubnam Gill, I'm not able to tell. I'm just any other actor.
I think that is because we don't know Shubman Gill that well. We have not heard
Yeah.
him speak that much.
Like the
We
way
can
I've
like
seen him in
associate him
interviews
versus
and
him.
press conference, like press
Yeah.
thing, he just talks, slowly and
He talks in a template like, hey, yeah, we played well, the pitch was good, and all
yeah.
that. It's the same things. But we have not listened to him talk about like general topics, like general things.
So guys, that's it. See you tomorrow. I hope you had a good time. Bye bye. Tata.